Listening to Moonhawk Studios Presents. All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Moonhawk Studios Presents. I don't know why I am being so announcery-ish,
That's
but
a
I am
verb.
your host. Yeah, but I am your host, Mac Paladin. With me in the studio, as always, is my good friend Adam.
Hello.
Nice delay. Petty fan on the music.
Yay, I didn't screw it up.
The Gollix in his zany hat.
Hi.
Twilight Winter is kicking it.
Oi.
Elemental Ogre is here as always.
Just be lucky when you do the countdown I don't suddenly break into Jumping Jack Flash. Because then I would have control of the gases around me, and you would die of oxygen deprivation.
Meanwhile, in the national All right, and introducing our latest and greatest co-host, Sobe.
Yay, that would be me. I don't have anything cool to say like the rest of you.
I think that
Wait,
qualifies.
you think what we said was cool?
I mean, I did for a second, but I'm going to take that back now.
We're already off to a great start, folks. Gosh. All right, before we interrogate Sobe as to what she is and what she's all about, you're like, wait a minute, that phrasing was scary. Adam, why don't you lead us off with the news?
Well, she's not the drink. So.
She's also not the cheat.
The what?
Okay.
Right?
The cheat.
No one is the cheat.
It's
Even
a
the cheat
reference.
isn't the cheat.
It's a reference to Homestar Runner.
Oh, I knew that.
Huh?
I said, oh, I knew that. And then I made a face that you couldn't see.
People always tell me I have a great face for radio.
No.
Not wrong.
Adam.
Sometimes I've been told that I have a great radio for a face, but I think they were being sarcastic.
Anyway, Adam, we're
Moving
going to
on.
Gollix now.
Yeah, it's like if we can be silent for a few picoseconds. Anyway, let's see. Well, the big news is things I can't talk about. Let's just put it that way.
Oh dear.
Well, I told you what it was.
I know. I was saying, oh dear, for the benefit of our guests, for the benefit of our listeners. Words are hard, okay? Sometimes you have an inside word and an outside word, and that time an inside word popped out.
Anyway, it's not really something I'm talking about on air. It's just something that's gonna be a while. So on that end, let's see. Interviews are returning to the show next week.
Yes.
Petty Fan will have more on that. And of course, we've got our new co-host.
Yes.
Things
Very
are
exciting stuff.
things are changing around here.
Mhm. A desperately needed injection of estrogen because, damn, guys.
Oh, are you guys talking about me?
Don't worry, it's all positive so far.
Like,
Love it.
oh, I hope. Yeah, it's like, as far as fragments goes, no changes slated to be there until Petty Fan is off for knee surgery.
Mm-hmm.
It's like obviously we're gonna have some workarounds with the equipment because, as I was explaining on fragments, he's the guy who does all the stream stuff. So. With him out, he's going to follow somebody or somebody's else to do a lot of tasks, actually, when I lay them out. It's not just running the stream. It's making sure the overlays stay accurate. It's making sure the music flows well. Fragments has more music than this show. And it's Also, Petty Fan helps out in getting guests.
Keeping in mind that difficulties with this show derive from the fact that we have a budget of $0.00.
Well, it's like money isn't really the issue, given that everything we can broadcast just fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of technology; it's just a matter of making sure somebody can operate the equipment, as it were.
Well, actually, I should say that's technically a lie. We do have a budget of $10.75 every 3 months. For
What
the
does that
cost,
go towards?
it goes towards maintaining our Skype channel.
Got it.
I paid $10 a month.
That's what the tax is. They charge me tax in Arizona, apparently. Moving on.
Ogre, you go next.
Yes, Ogre, next.
Let's see. Not much happening currently. Had the blood donation last Friday. Everything went well. Turns out if you need to up your iron for those little tests beforehand, the best thing to do is eat a nice steak beforehand, the night before. Seems to help to get your iron up for some reason. I don't know exactly why. I may have to look into that at some point.
Did you just go Jack Nicholson on that?
He says sarcastically.
You went full Jack Nicholson there for a second. I like it.
I think they feed the cows a diet of irons.
Try to go through all the jokers here real quick. What was that Leto one? Oh, I'm a sucky character. Bleh. Let me see. Recordings are going fine. Getting ever and ever closer to the end of the Color Splash game. Naka's updated his capture card so he can be able to start posting videos in 1080p.
Ooh.
But apparently it's a much longer processing time for the videos as well. So, from what everyone said here, may have to look into some upgrading of some computer processing and whatnot.
Who would have thought that greatly increasing the amount of data being processed would make it take longer?
I don't know, computer experts. And then Final Fantasy 14 stuff. I managed to get through the Alexander raid, and I believe starting tomorrow I'm gonna start doing Savage stuff with the free company I'm in. So, yeah, Petty Fan's gonna be there to help. So hopefully everything goes fine.
You will know true pain, friend. You will know true
with,
pain.
Well, it's A9S first, and from the videos I've seen of A9S, as long as you know what you're doing, you can almost fall asleep main tanking it.
Yeah.
I don't know about A12, though. I'm pretty sure there's going to be points if we ever have to do a call. It's going to be like, all right, Del, now this is where you do, what am I doing? What am I doing? Should I turn him for everybody else now? Oh, that was a cleave. Oh, everyone's dead. Oh, I am the Corey of this group.
Oh, God.
And that's pretty much about it for me. So, next person up on the docket.
Let's throw Petty Fan under the bus. Oh, wait, we already did.
But
hey,
yeah.
He's got his Savage wins, so...
Yeah, I have all the gear and everything. For me, I'm still trying to get the house cleaned up the best I can for my knee surgery, because apparently tripping over things when you're on crutches isn't good. Who would have thought?
Crazy.
Also, I have been doing games and stuff for the show. Waiting on my birthday present from my parents to come in, so I can see about getting some games for my PS4 and 3DS.
What if they don't send you those? Are you going to be disappointed?
Well, I live with them, so...
Oh, just kidding.
I love love it.
Yeah, they're giving me a GameStop gift card.
Hmm.
I don't
Is
know how I
GameStop
feel
still
about the
open? I thought they shut those all down.
Nope.
GameStop. Oh,
Radio Shack they shut down.
I'm pretty sure I didn't mix the two up, but okay, continue on.
But
No, they
yeah,
have shut down a lot
Did I
of things.
just
I
crush
just
everybody's dreams by saying that?
I'm enjoying this new dynamic. Just so you know.
So,
I'm
I mean,
sure
I'm pretty
you
sure
would.
that they closed like 400 stores, but I could just be making this all up.
oh, they were closing some, but not like all of them.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
that's usually a precursor to a company going out of business. So you know.
Yeah, probably kept like 20, 25 open. One every other state.
Well, then we have
You
way
enjoy that
our
gift
share
card,
because
you get it.
Yeah.
if that's
You're
true,
like-
we have way more than our share because, like, in South Portland, there are literally 3 GameStops within a 1-mile radius.
Yeah, they have something like 2,900 stores. So 400 closing isn't the end of the world. But yeah, downsizing is always bad.
Uh-huh. That said, I don't have that many nice things to say about GameStop to start with. So
Okay.
Honestly, last time
Petty
I-
fan. I'm sorry, Adam. Yes.
I can't remember the last time I was at a GameStop.
I went in there and it smelled like cheese, and I decided that I didn't want to be there anymore. I don't know what it is, but the GameStop here in Tucson on First and Wetmore smells like cheese. It could be the fact that they are next to a Subway, but it's not good cheese.
Well,
Like-
I mean, smell what some of the good cheeses smell like.
Well, okay, so at the retail store that I work at, that will remain nameless on the air because my bosses apparently listen to the show.
oh god,
At the store that I work at, we used to be right next to a Subway, and we used to smell them baking bread all day, which for some strange reason smelled like pizza. Of
Eh,
course, I made a hand gesture you can't see there, which was kind of like, huh?
Unless
But
you turn on your
Because
camera.
pizza contains dough.
Could be it.
Baked in an oven.
All right. Now you guys are just humoring the old man.
she's one of us, Mac.
That's why I hired
I'm
her.
so sorry. I'm actually not. Back to
Again,
the birthday boy, though. Was there anything else you were expecting to get for your birthday? I didn't let you finish. I really cut you off.
It's fine. It's like not really. This was just kind of small, just because most of my parents have been off work for a little while because my mom's actually been on light duty and my dad's been off work because my mom needed shoulder surgery and my dad needed a hemorrhoid removed.
Wow.
Yeah. Something. I should have had name it Mac.
I was gonna say something about dad and hemorrhoid, but I decided not to because we're on the air.
Well, you've also had the displeasure of meeting my father, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, Rollo Schaefer is not a person that we talk about on this program very often for good reason.
Oh, I've heard this name before. Oh, it all makes sense now.
There you go. He's such a pleasant individual. No, really a great guy. Salt of the earth. Like when you actually go out and put salt in the crops.
In the what?
Ugh.
If you put salt in the crops, it kills them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard something completely different.
What
I
does
won't
salt of the earth mean? I guess it means like for like mining salt, and that.
Or
being,
as they
like, the
said in
best thing you get.
Blazing Saddles, morons.
Morons.
Oh God. But anyway, I'm done. If anyone else wants to go, I think I've said
like-
my
you're like-
piece.
You're like, oh, look, you guys can turn me over on the spit if you want to, but I'm done on this side.
I was
Gallix,
about to say for Gallix, it was like, you really don't know what salt the earth means? I mean, that's like the most
I
way
know
that,
what. No,
like to tell
I-
somebody, fuck you after you burn everything they own.
I know what salt the earth means,
He
and I
doesn't
know
know
what
salt
salt
of
of
the earth.
the earth means. I just am
Oh.
curious as to why those are very different meanings.
Well, yeah, it's like we said earlier, morons.
damn it.
Anyway,
Well, there goes our FCC license.
yeah.
It was
I've been
gone
having
before we
fun.
broadcast the first time.
And we haven't even gotten to talking about Stephen Colbert yet.
Anyway, I've been having a little bit of time at work on account of my work is largely involves archiving documents by scanning them into a computer, and I've been having weird problems with the scanner lately, so hopefully we'll get that dealt with soon. But we recently, well, like several months ago, we fully outsourced all our IT stuff, so it'll be a while before they get back to me in person.
Yeah. Seriously, you're leading with copiers?
Scanners, it's different.
Okay.
Scanners have more head exploding. Just what it makes me feel like sometimes.
This one gets it.
Really, nobody wants to do a Scanner Darkly joke.
Something Robert Downey Jr. I got nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I reference it a lot, but I've never actually seen the movie, nor have I read the Philip K. Dick book. I have a copy of it on my shelf, for all the good it does me.
Yeah, well, you could shingle a house with all the movies I haven't seen.
I feel like there's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm going to let it go.
Yeah.
Hey, Homer, I'm coming down with a case of shingles. I don't get it.
Okay, Galax, apologies, but was that it, or do you have more?
Not much else. Usual video game stuff, and the weather was finally nice today after it being, like, drizzling for, like, a week straight.
Okay.
So hopefully it sticks with that.
Sorry, we just got off to our tangents a little sooner than usual, and we still have Twilight Winter and Sobe to cover.
No,
Well,
that's
it's
fine.
because we know what the inevitable conversation of the rest of the podcast is going to be, so we're kind of just delaying that as much as we can.
I'll pull a Nicolas Cage here and just say Trump. Anyway, moving on.
Damn it! I told you to call Diamonds. I knew he had the hearts.
I got the joke.
Okay, Twilight.
The only
Let's
one
cook it.
here who plays euchre. Savages.
Twilight Winter.
Let's see here now. Well, Monday we had our bathroom remodeled. Had the floor stripped out and took everything out. And I'm glad that's been done. We've been meaning to do that for quite a while. I'm going to enjoy a nice new bath and toilet and sink. And besides that, I've just been playing video games for Fragments of Silicon, and that's about it.
All right. Now the moment everybody's been waiting for. Our newest cast member, co-host, and potentially future producer, Sobe. What's cooking?
Oh, I was expecting like cheers, round of applause, nothing. Come on, guys.
I don't have the thing set up.
Yeah, I don't have my sound.
That's more like it.
Yeah, I don't have my
Fireworks.
soundboard set up.
Congratulations, fireworks.
See, what would have happened is I would have hit the wrong button on the soundboard, and you would have gotten the Jeopardy theme.
Or you would have got a fart noise.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or a really long
Or
fart.
both of them together at the same time.
Yeah, there you go.
Short
like-
circuits.
Or an air horn and really woken up the podcast.
This is
Give up
just
the
amazing.
raspberry. Anyway, now that you've gotten the full broadside, welcome to our humble abode.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here today. My name is Sobe, for anybody who doesn't know that yet. And yes, I was named after vitamin water, or vice versa. They could have just named it after me. We'll never know.
All right.
Did you want me to tell you an update about like myself and my
Sure.
birthday? And
Yes.
stuff?
You're
Yeah,
like,
what's been
not
going
going-
on for the what's been going on for the past week and or rest of your life?
yeah, it's like, well, I'm a Pisces descending in Aquarius, and no. Sorry.
No, nothing like
Whatever
that.
you feel like sharing with the listener tonight.
I think that might actually be me.
The one listener. Thanks, I appreciate it. There's a lot I'd like to share, but I'm pretty sure that as we have a conversation, it'll just come up on its own, and you guys will get to know me more and more. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
Anything particularly interesting happened this week?
this week, what month are we in? Is it May?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, you
Right
guys,
there.
tomorrow is May 4th,
Yes.
and I hear that's a big day for Star Wars fans. I've never seen a Star Wars movie. People think I'm weird for that, but I saw a commercial once, and that's as far as I got.
May the 4th be with you. Yes.
Yes.
I'm actually impressed that you've managed to avoid watching a Star Wars movie. Like,
Are you now?
just through sheer it's on the televisionness.
Just so you know, you might receive some shade from our Twitter fans for not being hip to that part of geek culture. Just saying.
I take
Also-
back what I said.
Well, if
Of Star
you're willing
Wars.
to accept having that personal flaw, we'll all forgive you for it.
You're like,
I
Mr. Spock
appreciate
was
it.
totally my favorite character on Star Wars, especially in that day when he fought the Daleks. You're like aboard the Serenity, when they were in that time when they hyper jumped to the outside of the galaxy.
En
Right.
route between Babylon 5 and ancient Egypt, yes.
Mm-hmm. We that was probably about 8 or 9 different things thrown together right there, just so you know.
You guys are a bunch of dicks, but all right.
Hi, welcome to the podcast. You
Achievement
must be
unlocked.
new.
It's like, you must be new here. I believe that's part of our charm, or at least that's what my mom keeps telling me.
I'm excited to be here, but was I the last one to be introduced, or were there more?
Oh, no. After you're done, then it's my turn to ramble on pointlessly for about 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay, ready and go.
Oh shit! Now I'm on the spot. All right. Well, the latest happenings, and who the hell keeps sending messages to me?
It wasn't me this time.
Well, it's just that of course, I keep hearing "thwip" every time somebody does. So, so the latest happenings in Starship Moonhawk. You know, that series for which this show is named. Script went blank. Line.
Don't
actually,
screw it up.
Yeah, there's quite a bit going on. Principal photography for Act 1 has actually completed, and we've acquired another voice actor, another Funimation dude. Brian Olvera will be playing Lord Gardu, and his very first audition was very General Zod from Man of Steel.
I actually haven't seen Man of Steel, so I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Okay, you're all fired. The podcast is over. I'm sorry.
Sorry, just the DC movies did not have much appeal for me.
Yeah. Are you paying me to watch one of those? Because that's the only way that's fucking happening.
I saw Batman v Superman, but only because I have an acquaintance online who streams terrible, terrible movies, and I sometimes leave that on in another window while I'm trying to do stuff.
Adam, do you accept Amazon gift credit?
Possibly.
Anyway, we now have our fifth Funimation artist participating in the film, and he did 3 takes, and they were quite good actually. Except Keith made a typo, and he read the typo literally in his audition. I want to say,
now where is this on the scale from yelling disappointed out loud to just saying a slightly wrong word?
Instead of saying mighty, Keith wrote might. So he says, "Soon the Might Star Alliance will be among us."
Well, clearly that's the new proper name of the organization.
They might be the Star Alliance. They might not be the Star Alliance. We don't know. It's completely unknowable. Nobody can see my stern expression when I said that. Thoroughly disappointed in myself, as usual. Moving on. But yeah, we have the principal photography completed. So now we're moving into post-processing, which means that some additional visual effects will be added to it. Now, since you're new to this whole venture, my series Starship Moonhawk is a novel series, and it's a webcomic in its current incarnation. We are attempting to make a movie comic out of the online comic, so that there are certain animated elements with voice acting, sound, and music.
Got it.
So that's basically what's currently in progress. We're doing Act 1. There will, once completed, the current storyline, which is called the Mercadian Affair, will be basically 7 parts. It has a prologue, 5 acts, and an epilogue. And we're turning all of it into a movie.
That sounds lovely. When is it expected to be completed?
Well, Act 1, which will be released soon, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. We're doing it episodically, part by part. So we're crowdfunding each segment of the film and then hiring the actors and having them record their lines. Alex? We're having them record their lines on an as-needed basis. So that way everybody's not on standby. They're all just like, so when do I record my stuff? Hold on, and we'll get to you. We'll get to you. You know, that kind of thing. So Act 1 has vastly better production values than the teaser act, which we cobbled together in a pretty big hurry, I have to say. On a embarrassingly low budget, I might add. But I'm hoping to actually increase the budget and nudge the. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to nudge the production values too hard, because if I make it too good in the later parts, then I have to go back and quote unquote remaster the earlier parts. And we don't want that, because then that would be weird when we cobble it all together into a single film.
At least not for a few years.
Right. Then I can George Lucas the hell out of it.
That sounds like a plan. Like a good plan.
It's like the film will never be done. It'll always, we don't even need to renew the trademark. We're just going to keep changing the film. And then it's like, it's a transformative work. No, George, it's really the same 6 films. No. It's like completely new films. And this is how we really, 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 really meant it. Really. That's about the gist of it is where we're going with this. So the animation sequences are actually kind of cool. We've done full 3D effects for the planets. Everything that I had done in Photoshop previously, it's like, okay, draw a sphere. Now we're going to run a tutorial, and I'm going to create a macro, and boom, instant planet. We're replacing that with planets that actually rotate and have day and night terminators, and you can actually see like lights on the dark side of the planet and stuff like that. So, especially if it's a civilized planet, unlike those uncivilized planets which have no natural lights. So the effects improvements are pretty substantial. Actually, as part of my whole YouTube programming blitz, I will be doing a mini show called I'm umming because I can't remember the name of my own show. Mac Watches the Dailies. It's called Mac Watches the Dailies, and it will be about comparisons between the original comic version and how we reinterpreted it and remastered it into the movie. So that way people have some kind of inkling before it actually comes out what improvements will be made and what they'll actually be quote unquote paying for. Now, my fervent hope, and I've been talking with the director of a rather large film festival in Australia. My hope is that when we get the final cut of the film put together, after we release the individual parts, you'll notice that it's not quite as polished as a completed film. When we put the final film together, we will dispose of the sort of rough cut parts that we gave away for free and give a full film with all of the improvements and updated title optics and stuff like that, with a slightly different edit. And that will be available on Vimeo. And before that, we're hoping, I have a tentative arrangement that we will be doing a world premiere of the final cut of the film in Sydney, Australia. So that's very, very exciting stuff. Of course, that means I will actually have to get my shit together financially, so that way I can actually go to Sydney and not, end up stuck.
Sitting there on a Skype call.
Well, it would be being that we are the country that's deporting everybody, I would hate to be the one being deported.
Eh,
You know, there are worse places to get stuck than Australia as long as you can survive all of the, spiders and octopuses and rabbits and kangaroos and
You mean the cougar that resembles a spider?
all those things.
Adam,
Rogue
you had something to
colony
say.
drops from the space noise.
Yeah.
Adam actually knows something about Australia, and he's trying to speak.
Oh, it's like I've been there. Sydney, 2003. Yeah.
Hmm. One of the big deals about Australia is that if you want to live there, you actually have to be able to bring an industry and support yourself within a year
Yes.
if you wish to emigrate. So, since I'm pretty sure I won't be doing that, I need to make sure that I get my ass back to the States in a timely fashion.
Well, if I wanted to know the particulars about Australian immigration, I'd ask my older brother, who he lives in South Australia now.
Or as we like to call it, the cold part.
But I'm like, but I was in Australia for 3 months, and I'm not going to say the danger is exaggerated, but the danger is exaggerated.
I know. It's just that they show things happening in Australia that terrify me.
No, I know. There are a lot of dangerous things in Australia. Don't get me wrong.
Personally, I mean, it's like, one of the legit dangers is I don't want to have to get into a fist fight with a kangaroo.
Oh, fists aren't the worry with kangaroos. The tail, or their fucking feet. Like
Fists are bad enough, but yeah, they can kick your chest right out.
Yeah, or they got a claw that'll go right through your stomach, and their tail is pure muscle. Kangaroos are not creatures you really want to fuck with.
Ever.
Well, I wasn't going to try to. No, I'm not going to go there.
And that's even without mentioning the drop bears.
Not going to go there.
Also, Australia isn't really much better with the whole immigration thing, like at all. Look up the Australian refugee crisis and shit like that.
I'm aware. I was making a commentary on the irony of being deported from Australia back to the United States. I get what you're saying. It was a joke. It was not a good one.
Okay.
Moving on. It was a disaster, I tell you. I mean, they just all jumped my shit at the last minute there. I don't know what happened. Who knew that joke telling was hard? Anybody?
That's why I usually don't. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I try. I always fail though.
So, is there any
nobody got the joke. But that's all right. See, because joke telling is hard. I wasn't kidding. Adam, you were saying?
Is there any more actual news, or can we actually, get to the topics?
Let's get to the topic while we still have a half hour left. So, yeah, speaking of all of my Trump jokes that nobody got there, either that or ignored because they weren't funny. I accept that. So, one of the things we were planning on talking about today was the first 100 days. It sucked. Anybody? Mostly fighting with Joe Walsh. And it was kind of a one-sided fight where he didn't fight back. It was, I'm pretty sure I just got blocked.
Probably. Well, it's like if you could still see his tweets, he didn't block you. He's probably muted you.
Yeah. Coward. It's like Jimmy Kimmel pours his heart out on the air, and his response is, well, I'm not under any obligation to pay for you or your kids. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? I'm not obligated to pay for any of your bombs to blow up other people's children.
Yeah. Or hell, like we're talking about a guy who won't pay child support.
Yeah, that was
See-
my favorite bunch of the whole thing. Was like, I shouldn't pay for other people's kids. Good.
It's like, well, I don't
From the
want to
guy
pay
who
your
won't pay for his own damn kids.
right. And
Fantastic.
it's like you do realize that every time you miss a payment, Joe, we're picking up the tab for you. So there you go. But I didn't go for that. The reason I didn't go for that one was because that was the obvious cheap shot, because everybody else was already saying it. So I was like, what else can I say?
Better worded too.
Yeah, well,
You know what my
Uh,
problem was with this guy?
what's that?
Is I don't care where you stand politically. You don't say something like that to anybody. Like, I don't give a fuck how, like, who you voted for or what you did. If somebody's pouring their heart out because of their kid, you don't say something like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That was
Well,
my biggest with him.
The thing about conservatives is, well, they're fucking callous and heartless. Like, that's important to remember. Because,
Well,
Yeah, a lot of
let's-
people
let's-
considered his lack of tact to be a selling point.
let's say the public conservatives, my family members wouldn't, they'd at least spit on you if you were dying in the desert. So there is that. It's-
but I mean, well, just witness tomorrow. They're going to have another AC8, American Health Care Act vote, and it might pass the House this time. Now, everybody's freaking out about this, even though it's got to pass the House and the Senate, and probably not going to pass the Senate. But
No.
they're
Unless
just
they blow up the filibuster there too, which
no. They blew up the judicial filibuster. They didn't blow up the legislative filibuster. And
I know, but there was some talk about
well,
some people wanting
To
to.
say that would be political suicide would be.
yeah.
Oh,
Here-
no.
You couldn't overstate that enough.
I am aware of that.
Here's the thing: Trump actually may have helped save it by sticking his nose into Senate politics, because Trump advocated blowing up the legislative filibuster, and bipartisan support for the filibuster immediately. Especially since, here's the thing: if the Republicans blow up the filibuster, this has actually been one of their most effective weapons
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
stopping Democratic legislation. Because you detonate the filibuster for legislation, it's gone. I'm like, even if you reinstitute it, well, what's to say that somebody else, it's not going to go away again, kind of deal. It's like,
Right.
point is, you do that, you open up the floodgates for everything. And I mean
Right.
everything, like including, Democratic legislation. And I'm like, the turtle seems to have some form of brain matter. And
I just want to clarify: the turtle is Mitch McConnell.
yeah,
The distinguished senior senator from Kentucky.
Really senior senator from Galapagos Island.
He's said no to destroying the filibuster. What they're trying to do here is they're trying to give Trump some kind of legislative win. Even if this dies in the Senate, it becomes the Senate's problem. And here's the thing: if they modify it in the Senate, even if they pass that, it has to go back to the House, and they have to vote on those changes. And it's contended that those changes would die in the House. This is why it's called zombie Trump care at this point, because it actually getting to Trump's desk, even if it passes the House tomorrow, is looking slim.
It's one of those-
It's not
it's one of
stopping
those- it's one of
people
those
from
things-
freaking out about it, but being proactive about this shit is better than being apathetic about it. Basically, if you're not calling your representative, like right now, do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow morning. Do it before they vote. That's how this thing stops. It's how we stopped it before. It's kind of how we've been stopping a lot of shit. That's kind of the thing about the first 100 days. It's been marked with a lot of Trump shit that's gotten stopped or
Right.
stymied, or
what I was going to say was that it seems like the more times the tennis ball goes back across the net, the less interest there is in lobbing it again.
Well, that's another reason why they're doing the vote tomorrow, because they're going to go to recess, and they figure if they go to recess, then they've lost again.
Yeah.
But I'm like, bringing this to a vote it's got its own problems, because because the votes are going to be on record, and the Dems are going to use this against the Republican representatives. And the big problem here is the moderates. If the moderates vote yes on this, that they're exposed, and they'll probably lose their jobs.
Right.
2018. Like, this is like, even just voting on this may lose the Republicans the House in 2018.
Yeah, it's a disaster all around.
It's certainly something all of their opponents are going to be running on.
Well,
even if they didn't succeed, these are the people that tried to get away to eliminate the American the Affordable Care Act.
It's actually really popular now.
As long as you don't call it Obamacare, because some people still get confused about that.
That's why they've been calling it Obamacare.
Yeah, like even so, it's more popular than it's ever been. So
right.
This is what they call a lose-lose situation. It was always a lose-lose situation, even back a month ago, or whenever they were voting on the first version. Even if it passes, they're going to have to suffer the consequences of the actions. And I'm like, if 23 million people lose health care insurance, I'm like, expect a blue wave to hit.
Well, and speaking of hits, the hits keep on coming. Since this was a somewhat broad topic of the first 100 days, I just watched on Keith Olbermann's The Resistance that apparently they may be seating grand juries.
Yeah, I saw that. It's possible, but what's happening next is Sally Yates is testifying to the Senate, and Comey testified today, and he said that a special prosecutor may be recommended at some point. Yeah, that's another thing. They're saying that this vote is happening ahead of another drop of the Trump-Russia stuff. Which, by the way, is never going away.
Oh my God!
They tried making it go away, but it's still there. As long as the FBI is still there, investigating. Yeah. Oh, and please, Trump, get rid of Comey. It's like that's one of the things that got Nixon.
Also, asking people to stop, or telling people that it's time to stop investigating you,
was basically what caused the House of Representatives to vote 410-4 against Nixon.
Right. It's never going to work.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys, this may be a crass reference here, but there are more shoes dropping in this case than when they emptied out Imelda Marcos's closet.
All right, Mr. Colbert. Stop being so insensitive.
Right? Thank you for segueing into that.
I was doing that on purpose. You're welcome.
Yeah. Speaking of Stephen Colbert, apparently he put something in his mouth this week. Maybe it was his shoe. I gotta say, that was a phrase I never thought that I would hear anybody utter on a major network.
I don't think the major network or the audience expected that either.
Dare I ask? I missed it.
Oh, Stephen.
It's a favorite on Archer.
Anyway, he basically said that Trump is Putin's cock holster.
Oh, right, that thing.
Yeah. So
and apparently, it's got a few people up in arms for, I guess, homosexual slur
I think
or
it was
something.
his mouth is only good for being that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Still, that's a phrase that, regardless of the potential homophobia, that's something you just don't say on a major network. I mean, I expect it from a crass show like Archer, but because that is the joke. Hey, look, we're being lewd and lascivious. Ha 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 ha. The question I have to ask is, was he going off script there?
I don't think so, but he's since apologized for going over the line. And yeah, it's like Colbert is not getting fired. You know.
I wasn't really thinking that, but it seems like the alt-right took that and tried to run with it.
Well, they tried to. I think they're pissed that Fox News is crumbling before our eyes. Like, that's the thing I wasn't calling, but here we are.
Well,
Like-
what happens when you remove a studio's headlining star and in a pretty disgraceful way?
I'm like, fuck it. It goes all the way back to last year when Roger Ailes got fired.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they got rid of co-president Bill Shine this week. And it's rumored, yeah, it's like Hannity may be next. He may walk out. He may
Be
be
kicked
ousted.
out.
Yeah, a lot of and Megyn Kelly left, for NBC because of sexual harassment. We've talked about this before, but obviously there was a culture of sexual harassment, and what's going on with Fox News is, well, not only the advertisers getting pissed off at all this, but Murdoch's sons are having more control. I'm like, and they're not. Well, at the very least, they're not, Rupert Murdoch levels of conservative.
Interesting.
And also, this might be related to the Sky. They're trying to purchase British satellites transmitter Sky Television.
Still, weren't they doing that 4 years ago?
Apparently, it's still a thing that they're trying to do, and somehow the Fox News stuff is related. I'm like,
Huh.
but yeah, so there's the House of Cards is coming down on a whole lot of right-wing stuff.
Hold on,
Interesting.
Adam. Let me get my violin ready. And a little jig.
I'm gonna interrupt you real quick here and check in on Sobe here. She got quiet.
Oh, no, I'm still here, listening intently.
That's good.
I feel like I should put up a cat picture. I feel like I should put up that cat picture that says "listening intensifies." We can do that now.
Yeah, this is why we're looking to launch a political show, so we can have a show dedicated to all of this.
Yes. We're hoping it's interesting.
Well, I mean, interesting or not, we can talk a lot about it.
And it might slightly reduce the tangents when we have actual guests.
Yeah. Like, anyway.
And ogre's desire for self-harm.
Anyway, while we still have time, you want to talk about the WGA stuff?
Yes, definitely.
That
Although
get resolved.
See, and
Yes.
that took some of the wind out of the sails since I made the announcement last week. It's like, all right, guys, we're going to show some solidarity for the strike, and
No strike.
oh, it's over, and it's over. But although this time I think, here's the deal. One of the reasons that this particular strike even being mentioned was kind of interesting is because in this particular case, none of the demands were unreasonable. There was no in the last strike, there was nothing unreasonable either. But the reason that the ideas were so deeply entrenched, for those of you who don't know or can't remember that far back, the fight in 2007 was over new media, which is this nebulous blanket term for everything that is not television and print, and like, for example, an earlier strike was over whether or not there should be royalties for DVD. And then Blu-ray came out, and then they're like, well, I mean, technically,
It's totally completely different.
right, it's totally
The
completely
laser
different.
is a different color.
Right. They were not paying royalties on Blu-ray, but they were for DVD because DVD was considered pre-existing media. Same with VHS, which of course by 2007 nobody was buying VHSs unless you were getting them out of the dollar bin at your thrift store.
At which point, yay, royalties on that.
Mac raises his hand timidly.
Hey, there's some stuff.
I saw that on LGR Thrifts.
Yeah. I still buy VHS tapes periodically. Depends on what it is, though. I'm kind of a weird dead media collector. I have an extensive.
Ooh, Violence Jack. This can't go wrong.
Do you know that I
Alright.
have a friend that bought a CD the other day? She was so excited about this. She comes home and she's like, where am I supposed to play this? I don't have a CD player. I felt so old when she said that.
Oh my
But
god.
back to the VHS tapes.
My mother still uses CDs. She'll occasionally ask me to get one from Amazon.
I guess not even computers are guaranteed to have CD drives anymore, are they?
Yeah, like a lot of new computer cases don't even come with a bay for them.
Right. You know, the bootleg soundtrack for Starship Moonhawk, which is a collection of 12 tracks based on a future yet non-existent Starship Moonhawk televised series, available at Amazon for only $14.95.
Cough, cough.
Is only available on CD. This is what's so strange to me. I've been a member of Create Space for God knows how long now. What, a year now? And a year and a half? 2 years? 2 years. My God. I've been publishing through Create Space, and I decided to go ahead and put out the soundtrack album so I'd have some additional media. And I'm like, okay, so where's the download option? Click. Downloads. Hello. Can I upload? Okay, MP3. Yeah. Okay. No. No download option. So they let you put it out in CD format, but apparently on Amazon, even though they have Amazon Music, via CreateSpace, you cannot sell your music. Oh, shut up, Doodles.
I was wondering whose
Ow.
cat that was earlier.
Ow, she bit me. God damn it.
Cat was not amused.
That was my cat, Doodles. She's the fat gray one that weighs 14 pounds.
So I have a confession to make. I was scrolling through Facebook earlier, and there was a cat video that I was watching, but I was pretty sure I was mute. I heard a meow, and then I heard a meow again, and I thought it was me, and then I started scrolling even faster, but apparently it wasn't me.
Yeah, no, it's Max cats.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, Doodles likes to jump on my lap during the show because we had a joke for a while. I said, broadcasting from the closet, wink. Because my studio is literally set up in a walk-in closet.
Oh,
I didn't know it was a walk-in.
Yeah, well, now it's a
I just
sit-in.
pictured you really crammed into this tiny closet.
sitting on a shelf.
Sliding door.
Yeah.
Oh, what would make that more epic is if the outside of the door was mirrored.
We can make this happen. We have the technology.
Yeah, it's an actual walk-in closet, so it's like having an extra room. And of course, you know, being the bohemian that I am, I am very frugal with my repurposing of things. So, well, God damn it, I'm paying for the square footage. I'm going to use it, and not just to store garbage in. Okay, well, technically, you could call my recording rig garbage, but I'm getting way off track here. The point is, I broadcast literally from a closet. I took old yoga mats that my cats ripped up and bolted them to the walls, and that's my sound break. That's my sound buffer. So here I am sitting here with a little writing desk with my laptop and a 37-inch TV and my microphone and my pop guard, and here we are. We're doing a show.
What sound were you trying to drown out when you put the yoga mats up on the walls?
Oh, when you're doing voice acting, you got to reduce echo.
Oh, that makes sense. I thought it was maybe like the cats or something, and I was like, I can still hear them. Or it.
Yeah, no, it's like I'd have to wrap the cat in the yoga mat to stop her from making noise, and then that would create a whole host of other problems. The ASPCA would be involved. PETA would throw red paint on me. It would just be a disaster.
Still an option, though.
Yeah, you're like,
You
we
hear
can throw
that,
red paint on you
cat?
anyway.
It's still an option.
I have headphones on, you ass.
I know.
You can catch the stream later, right?
Cats have really good hearing.
Yeah, well, I have enough laptops in this place. I'm pretty sure my cats are watching YouTube somewhere.
When I was
I'm like,
younger and had a cat, we didn't know that the whiskers had a purpose, and we cut them off. And that
Oh.
cat like stuck its head into like everything because I think that the whiskers were helping it to like navigate through life and stuff and what not
Yeah,
to
that's
put your
what
head
they
in.
do.
Yeah, that poor cat. Rest in peace.
Oh my gosh. It's already your first show and you've admitted to something terrible. Congratulations.
Welcome to the club.
Well, it's like stuff. Well, again, that's not something anyone would recommend, but it's something that doesn't seem as bad as it is. Another one of those things that people sometimes do is like declawing cats, which you think that sounds it's just like trimming their fingernails permanently, except for no, it's like
yeah, if you took the nail
taking
clippers
off
and
the
cut them down
joint
to the
of
first
finger
knuckle,
that the
yeah,
nail
sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
taking off the joint of the finger that the nail grows out of.
Yeah, no.
So I'm so glad we went off on this tangent. Maybe we could talk about those people who skin their dogs alive or something and then film it.
What the
People
fuck?
do that?
Yeah, and I've had to unfriend people on Facebook for showing those videos.
Yeah, there are some sick people on the internets.
I also had to unwatch a few Twitters. And now a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Doodles, come up here. Come up here and talk to my fans. Come on. She's literally looking at the wall like, man, this shit is fascinating. Is this called paint?
What is a delicious odor?
You want me on? She's like, oh, you want me on your lap? No, now I'm perfectly fine with being on the floor.
Because she
Doodles.
heard the conversation about being rolled up in a mat. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's like, are you talking about smothering your cat? I think there's going to be some letters. I think there's definitely going to be some letters to your podcast. It's like, my address is 1234 Fifth Avenue, Haywood, Jablomi, America.
I was gonna say 666 Brimstone Street, Hell, Michigan, but
Send,
I would sleep with one eye open tonight because your cat can hear all this.
oh, Doodles just tries to lay on my chest. It's more like compressing my sternum. This cat is okay. So from the end of her nose, and you've probably seen pictures of her on my Facebook since you follow me. This cat is from the tip of her nose to the end of her tail, 4.5 feet long. And she weighs 14 pounds. So when that is put on these little stilts that cat call feet, that cats call feet, that cat call feet. Welcome to Moonhawk Studios Presents. I'm your host. Back with that.
I don't know how to English very good. Am I close?
Yeah, when you have these little tiny stilts that these cats call feet, compressing your lung as you're trying to sleep, you're like, what's happening? Oh my God, I thought it was a dream. No, it's just my cat smothering me. And I have two of these little lovelies. I have Doodles. Doodles is short for Snickerdoodle, for those of you tuning in for the first time in 12 years. And then Pumpkin is the orange tabby that I rescued about 2.5 years ago.
Now, is that short for pumpkin pie or pumpkin?
No, it's just Pumpkin because she's orange and I'm unoriginal, okay?
I was just curious
Yeah,
because all
sometimes
of your other
custard.
pets have been named after baked goods.
Odessa was not named after a big baked good.
Yes, she was. You just didn't know it.
So you're telling me that that a city in the Ukraine and the feminine
Yes.
form of Odysseus is a baked good?
Yes.
sure they cook some baked goods
I
there.
think I figured out who's baked on this show tonight.
Mac, you
No, I
honestly
just
never know.
that's just me making my attempt to gallantly bullshit over missing something.
Mac,
You're like,
you
Terrible at it,
honestly
you might have
don't know
noticed.
sometimes. You don't know what people name after foods sometimes. I mean, what do you think mayonnaise is named after?
Oh my.
Is Mayon a place or something, or Mayo, or
All I know is there's a character in Gintama that's obsessed with mayonnaise.
well, that's pretty common, but that's because Japanese mayonnaise is very different.
No, I'm pretty sure this particular member of the Shinsengumi is. That's all he consumes. In fact,
Okay, it's taking it to an extreme, but they
one
do
of the
actually
accessories
make all
that the
kinds of
action.
stuff.
Okay, so one of the Figma action figures that they have actually has a glass bottle of mayonnaise as an accessory.
I believe you, and I know that this being Gintama, they're taking it to an absurd extreme, but it's common in Japan to put, because their mayo is different, they put it on more stuff than we do.
Use that as a condiment
what?
too.
Roofing tiles.
I was gonna say takoyaki, but we don't have takoyaki.
You can use it as a condiment for like French fries and stuff.
I think that was the main thing.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that.
No, but apparently it's apparently
all you weird Midwest people who eat cheese curds and
I
Hey,
live
Fried
in the
Twink-
Midwest
fried-
and
fried
haven't eaten
Twinkies.
cheese curds.
go to the fair and get fried Twinkies.
or just get fried.
Oh, there you go. Well, no, I mean, I think like in Minnesota and Wisconsin and stuff like that, I've always heard that like at the state fair and stuff, there's like a contest to see who can make the most potentially lethal food.
It's not even a contest, it's a way of life.
If you don't wind up nearly dead by the end, you've failed.
That said, I love eating at Culver's.
Oh yeah, Culver's.
Oh
Looks like
god.
Japanese
Keith is in
mayo
the
is
chat.
made with just egg yolks and with a different kind of vinegar, usually apple or rice vinegar. And they put it on more stuff. Whatever.
The topics of conversation will frequently stray towards Japan and anime because we have an expression on this show coined by the late Nakatalili. I say late because he's not on the show anymore, not because he's dead.
Oh,
He coined a phrase on this show. He says, "Right, but where does your comic fall on a scale from 1 to Japan?"
okay. Is this the part where we laugh?
Because stuff in Japan is strange.
I think it's at least a 5.
Right,
And
but
back to the
Japan- but
original
Jap-
thing.
But the symbol for Japan in this particular case is an infinity sign.
Ah,
So 5 seems relatively small by comparison, don't you think?
depends on how big your 5 is.
As compared to staring into
Are we still talking about the number or?
I was gonna say
Look, if 100 comes after 20, 5 is pretty big.
That one made my head hurt.
congratulations, you've broken the podcast.
So, is it about to wrap it?
Maybe you can have Sting play us out.
Oh, don't we need to talk about guests?
Yes. So we'll save our Mystery Science Theater 3000 discussion until next week, especially since I need to catch up on the new episodes. Petty Fan, why don't you tell us all about what exciting stuff we have in store for our listener next week?
Okay, next week we are having Jesse Cox. He is a Let's Player on YouTube, and he's going to swing by for an interview. And then the week after, May 17th, we are having Jake Williams of Bright Sun Films. He does a YouTube series called Abandoned, among a bunch of other things. We're going to talk to him about that. And I'm still working on more people, so more updates to come.
All right. All right. Well, that's our show for tonight, folks. Be sure to tune in next week when we have our amazing guest. And of course, Sobe will be returning because she's to become a permanent fixture on this program, assuming she doesn't run away and hide.
I'm still here. I just somebody keeps sending pictures of mayonnaise on Skype, and I just want to go make a fucking sandwich.
Sorry, I wasn't doing it. That's not. I was just backing up my statements with.
I wasn't naming names. I was just saying.
You've outed yourself, sir.
I think everyone knew it was me.
Well, every time that hat lights up. All right. Again, on behalf of the cast and crew at Moonhawk Studios Presents, I'm your host, Mac Paladin, saying thanks for listening and stay safe out there, kids. Anytime you want to play the music. This is awkward.
Ted, are you still there?
Teddy fan.
Are you on the wrong thing?